Absolutely 27 big ones. You know it, bro. There was somebody on Reddit who was like, who already reached the 5,300, and I was like, one day. He's also doing the same thing as I am. He's going down in numerical order. So see, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I never expected that to be the case, but I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who has like recorded myself doing majority of them. So yeah, so I have not been on these things lately. Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Like, I know you're busy. I think you're like going for like some work year that's just like a lot more, well, it's work or school. I don't know. It just has been like very hectic in the last couple of months. I would say like 8 months, maybe 9. So it's I fully understand. Crazy, welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. I mean, I have. You've been there, but like you are also somebody who's constantly having to like dip recently. So yeah, I'm a little bit exhausted because I had a long day out with friends and family. So I just hope I can actually do this correctly today. Luckily, it's only 17,000 words. Even though I love him to bits, Liam is not here, so we won't get distracted and extend that into into absolute oblivion of a stream time. Which right now I'm exporting some of the videos because for some reason 4 of the videos, well, after the export, they lose the audio. So I have to re-export them, and I have to re-export the 2695 again because it seems to fail all the time. You guys lasted a while. I mean, yeah, like it would have been longer if we read the tale that I read for 2696 was an hour long. That was probably taking us an hour and a half for sure. Maybe even longer, maybe 2, because we would have like make jokes, and then the last tale took like another extra 20 minutes for me to read, which again with us 2 would have been 40 minutes for sure. Yeah, we would have been like reading till like 6 in the morning, and we just did not want that. We did not want that. It would have been way too long. So that I made the decision of just stopping, and then I will read the tales afterwards and add them to the video. But yeah, I'm not sure what the hell is going on with 2695, that it's constantly failing to export correctly. But we'll have to do a check afterwards to see if the audio for 2697 at least works. But for now, pardon me, let's actually start reading, shall we? First of all, our author of today's SCP. We have Ambro, and we had them not too long ago. Of course, long ago because I had a 2-week vacation, but not too long ago in the sense of like number-wise. We had him with 2675, which was the Cradle. If you all remember, that was a big icebreaker boat that had the Lord, the Lord's baby, or the baby that is supposed to be the Lord. It was supposed to be like Jesus. It was supposed to be Jesus, and it was a Russian icebreaker that like just fought everybody. Every ship that came to close was like he just decided to like blast them because like, no, we shall carry the Lord on our backs, on our ship. We are the chosen ones. That was the last one we had of Ambro. So today we have. I hope everything works. And by the way, you guys can tell me if the stream seems like starts to stutter because I am exporting in the same time. But now we have Teleforce, which the person on Reddit who told me they are reading all the SCPs as well has said that he really liked this one. So I'm excited to see how this will go. There we go. That was a weird black box there. Okay. Object class safe. Special contained procedures. SB2700 is held at a secure bunker. That was a little bit delayed. Let me try again. There we go. Only personnel with 4/2700 clearance are permitted access to the bunker. SCP-2700 is contained in a... It's always fun to start a new like a new century of SCPs, because the very first one is always a double O, right? And it's always like, oh, it almost sounds like, it's like, oh my. But yeah, SCP-2700 is contained in a 10 x 5 x 10 meter concrete vault and is not to be transported or tampered with under any circumstances. Description: SCP-2700 is a complex mechanical device believed to be a sophisticated directed energy weapon developed by Serbian physicist and inventor Nikola Tesla. It's about damn time that Nikola Tesla has like a full like the first like sentence in the description. He might have been like mentioned once before, but like this is the one I can definitely remember that he's been like, that is like, for me, the first time at least. The device was discovered in 1946 and recovered from a defunct but heavily secured research facility utilized by Tesla in redacted during 1934. SCP-2700, damn Tesla, consists of three damn Daniel, of three components: the interface -1, the accelerator -2, and the core -3. Tesla, this is for you up there. I mean, I don't think it is. I think there is another one there is another SCP that talks about Tesla. If I'm not mistaken, there is another one. Or am I mistaken? I could have sworn there was another one. I was talking about like the famous like Tesla picture, and there was like something about that. Maybe I'm wrong. You know what? I'm just gonna look up what happens if I give in Tesla in my YouTube channel. No, nothing shows up. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. I will not forgive that Hitler right fuck what he's done to Teslas. Oh yeah, yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? Don't you think it's very ironic how back then Tesla got screwed over, but or at least, you know, taking advantage of, but with his inventions and his work, and now again many years later Tesla's name is being besmirched. It's like that man has brought so much to us, and for some reason other people cannot stop ruining his name. Dashman is a steel control console featuring a QWERTY keyboard, a 23x23 squared display screen, and a number of buttons, switches, and levers. -1 is connected to -2 and -3 by a network of copper wiring. The display screen features a command-based operating system with commands and responses appearing in green block text. The nature of -1's operating system is still under investigation. Insane shit, really. It is, right? Yeah. Like, it was Thomas Edison, right? That. Oh no, I don't get a pop-up option anymore to draw. Wait. What? Oh no, I don't get a pop-up option anymore to draw. I'm a little bit confused. The display screen features a command-based operating system. I already read that. -2 is believed to be a linear particle accelerator held in a lead-lined tungsten cylindrical chamber. The device contains all the components that would be required for a contemporary particle accelerator, though it is significantly smaller, to 7.35 meters in length, than a device of this design would require. Please see document -2 for full information on the individual components of the accelerator. Means I can't divide my screen to draw while you read. Oh yeah, that's Did I just get a message on something? My phone is in the fritz because oh wait, oh my god. Oh, you guys don't see it, thank god. Okay, hold on. Well, I'm still wearing option. Okay. Dash 3 is identified as the core in Tesla's schematics. Is a lead tungsten assembly containing an apparatus. By the way, Howard, are you not going to be super tired if you're staying up right now? An apparatus of currently unclear function. This apparatus, which is observable via a silica glass viewport, consists of a spherical frame constructed of an unidentified substance. This frame is approximately 10 cm in diameter and suspended within a transparent sphere, the composition of which also remains unidentified. According to Tesla's notes, the space within the sphere is held in a perpetual vacuum state. Present within the frame is a continuous current of plasma generated and perpetuated by unknown means. Available information suggests that particles produced in Dash 3 would then be introduced into Dash 2 and accelerated as expected for such a device. Energetic particles would then be propelled from the terminus of Dash 2 toward the intent target. How the device is powered and the exact nature of the particles produced by Dash 3 remains unclear. Okay. What was the name of this one again? It was called Teleforce. Okay. Attention. Welcome, mechanic. Honestly, I don't know either. I actually just woke up at 2 AM after 8 hours of sleep since I was busy this morning. But I'm still not sure whether to collapse or not to call that short on something. Well, so you had 8 hours of sleeping, but now you're probably screwing your sleep schedule up very much so, yeah? Attention clearance 4/2700 personnel. The fact that you are able to read this text verifies your security clearance and access to following documentation. Please continue to down the document SCP 2700-DE Deutsch, German. A person on the level 4 may be granted emergency access to this document through provision Omega R5. Object class Keller, special containment procedures. The above falsified document is to be made available for all personnel without 4/2700 clearance. SCP-2700's containment vault is located 180 meters from the surface level entrance. To secure bunker, the vault itself is to be insulated against seismic activity and safeguarded by 3 sets of reinforced steel doors. Access to the vault is forbidden. Access to the vault is forbidden bearing semi-hourly inspection unless there is a risk of imminent containment failure and contingency procedures are necessary. All personnel entering the vault are to be equipped with Batracotoxin collars, which are to be activated for any breach of protocol. SCP-2700 is to remain under constant surveillance, and all data regarding the state of SCP-2700 Omega is to be updated semi-hourly. Personnel tasked with accessing Dash 1's operating system must adhere to a set of guidelines present in document Dash 1. There is to be no direct interaction with Dash 3 bearing on anonymous approval of the O5 Council. Breach of this protocol warrant immediate termination. Any change in the behavior of Dash Omega must be reported immediately, as such activity could result in a Y-class event. As I just mentioned, Nikola Tesla. Yep, it does mention it. Does mention him. A person that is assigned to the containment of SCP-2700 are to investigate all available material related to the origin and function of SCP-2700. The primary objective in regards to the artifact's containment is to be its deactivation prior to the occurrence of a Y-class event. In light of the catastrophic severity, a possible breach by SCP-2700 presents Statute 30A may be waived by personnel with 5/2700 clearance. Proposals for the cross-neutralization of SCP-2700 utilizing other SCP objects, including those of Keller class, may be presented to the O5 Council for evaluation. In the event of imminent containment failure, Dash 3 is to be disposed of via the current approved cross-neutralization SCP object. Description. SCP-2700 is a device originally constructed by Nikola Tesla, just like the safe option. Well jump, by the way, from safe to Keller. Yeah. The purpose of producing a directed energy weapon, which is not... Yeah, it's not the same thing. Here it was believed to be a sophisticated directed energy... Oh, it is a directed energy weapon. Yeah, gotcha. Investigation of the artifact while in Foundation custody, however, has proven that SCP-2700 possesses a function distinct from and significantly more dangerous than its original designs. Dash 1 and Dash 2 are as described in the above document, however Dash 3 is not. The luminescent anomaly located in the center of Dash 3 is not plasma, as previously indicated, but a discrete energy phenomenon now designated Dash Omega. Dash Omega behaves inversely with regards to entropy. The energy state within its boundaries constantly moves from thermal equilibrium to thermal singularity, from disorganized to organized. In other words, the flow of energy moves from the state of maximum entropy to minimal entropy, which is opposite to the standard for the rest of the universe. Due to this, the effective flow of time within this region is also reversed. Presently, the unidentified materials surrounding the region, the frame and transport sphere, are immune to the effects of Dash Omega. This appears to be the only factor preventing a breach of the phenomenon. If Dash Omega were to escape, the interior of Dash 3, an inexorable chain reaction would occur, converting the rest of the universe to this invert entropic state. The eventuality of this scenario will be a Y-class entropic annihilation event, resulting in the reduction of the entire universe to an infinitely energetic singularity, ostensibly an inverted Big Bang. Oh shit. I have to actually look up the word entropy because it's a word that I keep like hearing. But I've heard entropy, lack of order, of predictability, gradual decline into disorder. Yeah, that makes the most sense. A thermodynamic quantity representing the inability of a system, thermal energy for conversion into mechanical work of best to give or randomness in this. You know, that makes sense. That makes sense why now I understand why the fuck my friend has named D&D character Entropy, because every time Entropy rages, he has a random effect happening to him that he has no control over. That, now I see why. Now I see why he named himself Entropy. Very clever, very clever. As indicated, Dash 1, the device is currently armed and set to activate in 2234, exactly 300 years after. Oh, okay, in 2020. Well, so in 2020. In 2234. That's exactly 300 years after this initial arming, as this would entirely trigger a breach of Omega. Current containing protocols must be completed prior to the set to avert a Y-class event. Well, the thing is, it's an inverted Big Bang, right? So, my understanding is, because the Big Bang created everything, I assume an inverted Big Bang would mean it erases everything. That's my understanding of how, like, what that means. I might be wrong though, but I think that's what it means. Addendum 1. The following is an excerpt of a personal log written by Tesla in 1934. So this is an SCP I should not play around with. No, mechanic, this is not an SCP. Like, why are you even asking? Why are you, like, you know we're gonna say no. I thought the Big Bang wasn't a big crunch. Yeah. We can call it whatever we want, right? Oh god, that means we get sucked back into nothing, basically. I mean, it's not like a black hole, I guess, because a black hole will just absorb everything, right? But like in a black hole, we get spaghettified. Just a curious question. No. Anytime, no, I mean that's the real term. Oh, it is. I did not know that, but. Mechanic, you should know. You should know. Anything that's dangerous in the SCP Foundation, you should. We gonna say no, don't play with it. That's not even a curious question. That's just. Well, oh, are you like 5? Like, it stands before me, complete and inescapably counting down toward the nexus of my oversights and failures. Only 1 month ago, I'm trying to get like the Nikola Tesla accent from Epic Rap Battle of History. Wait, hold on. My name is Tesla, Nikola Bucketblade Test. Only 1 month ago, I was approached by a man I'd never seen before. He was the most content person I ever seen. His eyes felt like a window into serenity. He said he was looking for the most curious mind in the world, and I was it. Apparently, I wasn't hard to distinguish from the billions of other minds on the planet. Not that that surprises me. Somehow I knew immediately that he wasn't from here, and I felt self-conscious about this world, my world. It felt humiliating to me. I think he knew what I was feeling. During those brief windows when I was not isolated in my work, I would glimpse the event unfolding elsewhere. I never cared for what I saw. The world is too broke to feed itself, and it is responding like any hungry animal. It's angry. War is coming. I can only hope that this conflict nature will take its course, and the lingering degenerates of our species are expunged. It's because of the degenerates that will erupts and war in the only thing that can clean them from civilization. That is the way of any system. When the unnecessary pieces build up to the critical mass, chaos brings the destruction that returns things to the equilibrium. But his smile just seemed to cut right through the maelstrom of disgust and inadequacy in my head. Then came the truth. He was looking for the most ingenious minds from each of the other universes. He found my lack of astonishment to the phrase other universes surprising. I asked how many there were, and he said he did not know. In addition to his own, they had only found 5 others that were coherent and could support life. If anything, I was astonished that there were only 7 found. Yet after that seemed promising to him. I asked what he wanted from me. To unlock science's final secret. We prepared for departure over the next 24 hours. I asked the traveler if I could take my project with me, and I have his people look at it. My accent keeps switching from Russian to German. It sucks. It's not at all Serbian whatsoever. With me, and I have his people look at it. To which he replied that it would be no problem. That the Teleforce had hit substantial roadblocks. I had no way to develop a power source sufficient for it. I didn't tell him that what it was. I just said it was just an accelerator, not a weapon. I didn't want him second-guessing my motivations. I thought if I could complete it in the universe, I could bring it back and take care of the equilibrium problem myself. We left in the early morning. I admit, while the prospect of another universe didn't shock me considerably, the premise of actually traveling there was intriguing. The traveler grabbed my arm and adjusted something attached to his wrist. It resembled a simple watch, but I couldn't get a good look at it. There was I could still swear, like, I'm trying to recall which was the other Nikola Tesla SCP. I think it was like some sort of factory SCP. Not from the factory, but like the SCP itself was a sort of factory that was led by Nikola Tesla as well. Or at least was started by Nikola Tesla, something like that. There was an intense flash and everything went black. For an instant, I thought I'd be blinded, then I felt the terrifying free fall. Tumbling through infinite darkness at unfathomable speed, I had never been more frightened in all my life. Even so, I experienced wonder and anticipation such that I had never known. Then, in an instant, it all stopped. I opened my eyes and saw. Words fail to do it justice. More accurately, our words fail to do it justice. Just as I cannot write the traveler's true name in these letters and be satisfied with it, I cannot describe the transcendent beauty of his home world. It was a world with a pulse, a life that I could palpate, and at that point I felt the enormity of my world's hollow and primitive nature collapse upon me. I cried, not at his world's beauty, but my world's sheer inferiority. I'm relieved that he never realized the real reason behind those tears. I was brought to a city again. I'm using the word city as nothing more than the most appropriate analog. There, the traveler introduced me to his family and to many of his people. That feeling of contentment that he gave me during our first encounter now surrounded me on all sides. My sense of shame only deepened. This world wasn't just better, it was the closest thing to perfection that I could possibly imagine. That must be so insane. Imagine, like you are like one of the brightest minds of our world, and you get to visit a world that was so superior that you feel ashamed being there. That you're like, oh my god, we are not even 10% to what you guys have. I cannot imagine going to like a world and then it's just looking at the world and looking at myself and be like, am I allowed to be here? Like, they weren't pointlessly cheery, but they would not tolerate any of the idiotic and trivial nonsense that people fret over here. Then I met the others, and one from each universe, as the traveler explained to me. Him being the representative of his own universe, he will not go into details on their appearance. This is irrelevant and ephemeral information that reveals nothing of their vast intellect and ingenuity. I spent at least a day simply taking with them. I kept my pocket watch with me during my visit. It was the only thing that kept record of Earth's time while I was there. They have their own form of time, of course, but it was more practical for me to keep using ours. I vastly enjoyed the time I spent conversing with them. And now I'm speaking fucking British. I can't keep an accent consistent. We spoke of things I would never care their reference as science here, but they thought of it as no more strange than gravity itself. The traveler told everyone that what the great project he has assembled us for was. We were to build a perpetual energy generator. Not only did this instill in me appropriately infinite fascination, but I identified that this was just what the Teleforce needed. Naturally, I volunteered my device to them to be the test subject for the generator once it was finished, just to see if it worked. To my delight, they accepted this proposal and we got to work. Americans, when entering a country with walkable cities, be like, no. You say that. Like, I was about to add to the joke. I'm allowed to be here. We are inferior. No, they don't give a shit. They will look at that, and then go back home and then write a review of like everybody spoke Italian, nobody spoke English. How dare they? They will not care about the fact that you can walk everywhere. They will just be like, yeah, I don't know why, but all the shops only had Italian food. It was really hard to find, and then the McDonald's only had like really small sizes. Like, yeah, don't. Like, I think Crazy and Steph, if they came to Europe, they would definitely be like, whoa, you tell me I can just walk to the store? And it would not take me 5 hours? No, they, like, Americans, like, they rather, like, look, even if we give them a good time, they would still go back and be like, yeah, it was nice, it was lovely, but for some reason, like, you know, like, and they would just say some stupid shit. You know, like when 4th of July happened, nobody celebrated in Europe. It's so weird. And it's like, yeah, because that's not, it's not what we do. We don't care about the 4th of July. Over the course of a few short weeks, we compiled our data, and at last it was I that found the solution. The properties of two specific substances, each from a different universe, when interaction should produce the reaction that would catalyze infinite energy. Both samples has been taken from universes that were inhospitable to our form of life. Their subatomic nature was not only at odds with the realm in which I was residing, but with each other. It was only by virtue of a causal membrane the other provided me with that sample could remain in existence here. I was certain that this paradoxical interaction was the key. Pro-Fros is an American thing. I know that. Yeah, I know, but like, I'm pretty sure there's like I'm pretty sure there's one person from the US that when traveling to Europe in July, realized nobody looked around, saw that nobody cares about 4th of July, and went home and was like, yeah, it was weird. Nobody celebrates 4th of July. I'm not sure why. And then like the entirety of Europe goes like, we don't need that. We don't. Oh, you mean idiots? I mean, let's just be honest. The uneducated, illiterate side of America. Because it's at the end, if they only cared more about culture than about themselves, they would not say any of that stuff. And with culture, I mean other culture from the world. If they cared more about the history of the world and the culture of the world, and just get their mind out of the American way, then they would probably be a lot more tolerable. I pulled up the notes.
I poured over the notes for the nights, trying to finalize the designs. It was at the time that one of the others came to me, offering his help. The Watcher is what I like to call him.
That is a gif of guy riding fire. What was what I said?
That is what he did. He watched me all the time. I don't know why, and he claimed I was just interesting.
Certainly disconcerting, but I can admit to having the same feeling myself often. He peered over my notes and pointed out something I had missed, a simple error I had overlooked. With that, my calculation was complete, and we were ready to begin the test. I was ecstatic. The day came, and the Traveler and I loaded the core into the Teleforce for our initial test. At first, everything was going as we had foreseen, but when we inspected it 1 hour later, one of the others noticed something unusual. The amount of energy inside the core seemed to be diminishing, which didn't make any sense at all. Then the horrific realization came. It wasn't diminishing, the energy was converging upon itself infinitely. The core was reversing the flow of entropy. None of the others failed to see the critical danger of this predicament. If it could not neutralize this reaction, it could disrupt the flow of entropy for the entire universe. It was worse time than the birth of existence. So that's why, yeah, the reverse of the Big Bang, okay? Inverted Big Bang, I guess. Hastily, I accessed the console of the Teleforce and saw that someone had set it to activate in 300 years. I tried to disable it, but I could not. The system would not recognize my commands, which can only mean that someone sabotaged the console. Then it clicked in my head with absolute certainty. I spun to face the Watcher and declared him to cope with the situation. He gave a smile that seemed to contain more malice than any of the beings should be capable of. He denied nothing and went further. He explained that only he knew how to deactivate the Teleforce and that disassembling would do nothing but spread the reaction sooner. He leered at me in that way he always had, and I cursed myself for not figuring him out sooner. Some greatest mind I was. Then he said it. What right did I have to hold him with contempt when I too came here to complete a weapon? Clearly those wretched eyes had found my journal for then, where he then begun to describe the Teleforce function and purpose. He commended me for coming to another universe to build it. Wait. Oh, okay, it's still Tesla talking. He commended me for coming to another universe to build it, rather than risk building it in my own. It was exactly what he did. Why did he set it to 300 years? It was merely a safeguard to ensure it didn't activate while he was still there. The Watcher then disappeared back to his own universe, taking the only device capable of reaching it with him. We were left there with my great invention, now a time bomb for this universe that I had grown so fond of. Why did the Watcher want to create such a weapon in the first place? I don't know. I care anymore. All I cared about was the fear and hopelessness of the Traveler, his family, and his world. It was my theories that brought this upon them. It was all my fault. The Traveler, though, did not blame me, and I think that was the final sign that I had to do what I did. I took the Teleforce back here. I took the depth of existence back to my universe, where it belonged. I portrayed all life forms in this cosmos. I portrayed our entire future. I'm not sorry, and I'm not apologizing. I could not let my legacy be the destruction of a universe I was not even worthy of. Fair enough. It seems I will in the end bring the equilibrium I desired, and it will be the end of our degenerate universe. The Teleforce is locked away safely. I spent my long hours before the pond with the birds. They are so blissfully unaware of what approaches and what gives each us enough tranquility to tolerate my own existence. A reversal of energy, of entropy, of time. If reversing time was a simpler task, perhaps I could have stopped this from ever happening and saved our universe. No, I wouldn't have. I would have made our universe one worth saving. Well, shit, Nikola Tesla. What the hell, man? We don't want that. We don't want that either. Well, yeah, I mean, at the end, you heard the guy. Well, that was fucked up. It's also like just like interesting how like there's another person who's just like, let me just nuke. Well, not even nuke. Let me just erase a universe that accepted me into their world. We saw a cool city and had the existential crisis, man. We don't want it. Yeah, like can you imagine you're a genius from your world, you go to this universe and they allow you to build something that you would have like taken forever in your universe. And then there's another one who's in the same fucking boat as you, and he's like watching you, and then he's like, oh hey, maybe change that a little bit and it would work. And he's like, oh yeah, you're right, thank you so much. Next thing you know, you're like, congratulations. You have built the destruction of this universe. Bye! And then just leaves. Bye! That's next level pettiness. Like, not even petty, that's next level just like unnecessary evil, right? Like, you just go like, motherfucker, you got invited to this place too. Why are you angry? Why are you trying to destroy this place? Like, it's like, oh, nobody else is allowed to come here anymore. Only me. I wanted to come here for the for a couple. Imagine like, oh my god, imagine the Watcher comes back, because I assume he wants to go back to that universe to like get some more inventions done. Imagine he goes back and he's like, where's that machine that Nikola Tesla built? And everybody is there like with fucking like super weapons, just looking at him like, oh, he took it back to his universe. And now, we're gonna take you to the grave. Yeah, Teleforce. It's also just so funny that Nikola Tesla is like, I'm just gonna take it to my world because, listen, the other world, way too dope, okay? Way too cool. This world, our world, kinda sucks. It's fine. Listen, I feel bad. I feel bad for that I'm gonna kill everybody, but our world sucks compared to theirs, okay? No matter what, you're coming back, Death Wish to himself. Shit's baffling. Who knows? Because, like, again, why 300 years? It's like, oh, I wanted to make sure it didn't go off while I was still here. Like, why not then, okay, just make it the fucking next day? Like, why? Like, I was just thinking it's interesting that they wanted it to take so long. Oh, to save the precaution because I don't want to be caught in the event. I'm like, okay, then make it like a week. Just make the fucking time limit a week, and then just peace, you know? Oh well. Who am I? Who am I to question a genius who got invited to the superior universe? Huh? Who am I? I'm just a guy reading. I'm just a guy reading, and I'm an idiot, so I will not question this genius, man.